My name is Chris Benziger. Welcome to the Benziger Family Winery. We've been farming this land for about 25 years now. Inside this property, we have about 85 acres. Now, 45 are in grapes, but the other 40 acres are farmed with the same intensity, but with the idea of biodiversity. Going from a monoculture of just grapes to a polyculture of many different types of plants and animals. One of the big aspects of biodiversity is our insectary, where we actually take vineyard land out of production and plant it with a whole variety of grasses and flowering plants to attract predatory insects. The whole concept here is kind of if you grow it, they will come. So they go out there and they eat the bad bugs, tipping the balance so we don't have to use insecticides. Each plant has a little job, attracting a wasp or some insect, or attracting a bird or some other predator out there to eat the bad bugs. And since 1996, we haven't had to use any insecticides here on the property. The big part of biodiversity is making sure that now your waste stream, you're just not trucking it off and making it someone else's problem. What you're doing is you're taking the waste stream and naturally composting it. And this is really incredible stuff. Out of one handful of compost, you have millions of different microorganisms living in here. And then that goes out and is spread into the vineyards. So now our waste stream really becomes our nutrition stream. One of the biggest concerns in California is water. Water is a very scarce commodity. And one of the ways that we can save water is by recycling our water that we use in the production of winemaking back into use for our irrigation. Right here, this is our primary pond. And this is where all the winery waste goes. And then as the water settles down, it flows into this man-made little wetlands right here. And as it goes through, all those plants at the roots are eating all the organic matter in that wastewater and eventually filters into the lower pond where that water is clean enough to irrigate with. So we end up saving about 1.5 million gallons of water. This type of farming method is more expensive, anywhere from 10 to 20% more expensive. Being a family business, you can make those tough decisions. You don't always have to worry about short-term profits. You can make that investment for the future. My dad had a great saying, you can't eat two steaks at once, meaning that don't be greedy. You know, you have to give something back. You have to pay attention to what you're doing, and that's why we farm this way, is we don't want to maximize the profits. Instead, we want to make less wine, but make it more interesting. So what we have here in the cork is all four of the elements. You have water, earth, air, and fire, but also you have the fifth most important element. When they all come together just right, which I think they do on this piece of property, because then you get the fifth element, spirit.